open with discomfort. Some truths don't knock, they explode. Let me tell you something most people aren't ready to hear. Let me tell you something most people aren't ready to hear. Comfort has a cost. And the longer you stay comfortable, the higher that cost becomes. We like soft words. We like gentle timing. We like to believe that if something is hard, we can deal with it later. But later doesn't erase pain, it stores it. And stored pain doesn't stay quiet forever. I'm not here to make you feel safe. I'm here to make you honest. Because honesty is the only thing that can change a life. If this feels uncomfortable, good. Growth never comes wrapped in ease. It comes wrapped in truth, and truth doesn't care if you're ready. It shows up when it shows up. Some truths don't knock. They break the door down. Some truths don't knock. They don't wait for the right moment. They don't ask for permission. They break the door down. They rush in. They rearrange the room. And once they arrive, nothing looks the same again. You can pretend you didn't hear the noise, but the damage is already done. Think about the moments in your life that changed. You, not the easy ones, the hard ones. The ones that stopped you cold. That's how truth works. It doesn't tiptoe. It crashes in. And the longer it's kept outside, the louder it becomes when it finally gets in. Silence isn't peace. It's just delayed damage. Silence is often sold as peace. But silence is not peace. Silence is delay. Silence is damage waiting for a clock to run out. When something is wrong and no one speaks, the problem doesn't shrink. It grows. Quiet doesn't heal wounds. It lets them spread. Think about families that don't talk about hard things. Think about relationships built on avoiding truth. They don't break right away. They crack slowly. And one day, without warning, they fall apart. Silence didn't protect them. Silence set the timer. Betrayal isn't always loud. Sometimes. Its patient betrayal isn't always loud. It doesn't always shout. Sometimes it waits. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it shows up every day and says nothing. That's what makes it dangerous. Loud pain gets noticed. Quiet pain gets ignored, and ignored pain stays longer. It settles in. It changes how you trust. It changes how you see people. Not all harm comes from anger. Some harm comes from waiting, from choosing quiet again and again while someone else pays the price. What would 3 lost years do to you? What would 3 lost years do to you? Really think about that. 3 birthdays, 3 seasons of growth, 3 years you never get back. Time is the one thing life never returns. You can fix mistakes, you can repair damage, but you cannot rewind days. When time is taken, it's taken for good. So ask yourself honestly, what truths are you delaying? And who is paying for that delay? Because time doesn't pause for comfort, it moves forward. And it takes everything with it, the secret that changed everything. 3 years is a lifetime. 3 years isn't a detail, it's a lifetime. 3 years is not a footnote. It's not something you brush past and keep walking. 3 years is a lifetime of moments that never pause. It's mornings and nights. It's growth you can't rewind. When people hear a number, they think math. But time isn't math. Time is memory. Time is presence. Time is what builds bonds when no one is watching. When 3 years disappear, it's not about what was missed. It's about what can never be repeated. That's why this matters. Because loss measured in years is not small. It's permanent moments that never wait for permission. Life doesn't wait until everyone is ready. First steps don't ask who's in the room. First words don't check who's listening. Bonds don't pause while adults figure things out. These moments move forward whether you're there or not. That's the hard truth. The world keeps turning. Children keep growing. And connection forms in real time. When someone isn't there, it's not because time stopped. It's because life kept going. That's what makes absence heavy. Not anger, not blame. Just the quiet truth that moments don't come back. Time isn't money. You don't earn this back. People say time is money. That's wrong. Money comes back. Time does not. You can lose money and rebuild. You can lose time and it's gone forever. Every hour passes once. Every year moves forward once. And when time is taken by silence, there's no refund. That's why urgency matters. Not panic, urgency, because waiting doesn't protect anything. It only shrinks the window you have left. Time isn't something you save later. It's something you either use now or lose. A secret gets heavier every day you carry it. Secrets don't stay the same weight. They grow. What starts as fear becomes pressure. What starts as silence becomes strain. Every day a secret is carried, it asks more from the person holding it. It changes how you speak, how you move, how you justify staying quiet. And the longer it lasts, the more damage it causes without a sound. This isn't about blame, it's about truth. Silence doesn't freeze pain. It feeds it, slowly, daily. This wasn't one lie. It was a daily decision. There's a difference between a moment and a pattern. A mistake happens once, a decision repeats. When silence happens every day, it becomes a choice, not loud, not dramatic. Just repeated over and over. Each morning that truth stays hidden, the choice is made again. That's the line people don't want to face. Because once you see repetition, you see responsibility. And responsibility is heavier than regret. The moment of discovery, truth doesn't whisper. Truth doesn't whisper. It hits all at once. Truth doesn't arrive gently. It lands all at once. No warm-up, no warning. One moment, everything feels steady. The next, the ground shifts. That's how truth works. It doesn't unfold slowly. It collapses the old picture and replaces it instantly. You don't ease into it, you absorb it. And in that moment, your body reacts before your mind can explain anything. Breath changes. Thoughts scatter. Reality feels louder than before. Your mind tries to catch up, and camp mind scrambles when truth hits. It tries to line things up, to make sense of what it just heard, but it can't. Not right away. Pieces don't fit. Time feels strange. Questions pile up with no answers. This isn't weakness. It's human. The mind needs space to process shock. When truth arrives fast, understanding lags behind. And in that gap, everything feels unsteady. Anger isn't the first feeling. It's the second. Anger often gets blamed first, but it usually comes later. Before anger, there is confusion. Before anger, there is disbelief. Anger shows up when the mind finally catches something solid to grab onto. It feels strong, but it's not the beginning. It's the reaction to realizing what was lost, what was hidden, what can't be undone. That's why anger feels heavy. It carries everything that came before it. You don't just learn the truth. You lose a version of yourself when truth comes out. You don't just gain facts, you lose an old version of yourself. The version that believed something different. The version that trusted a different picture. That loss is quiet but deep. It changes how you see your past. It reshapes memories. It forces you to rebuild who you are with new information. That's not small, that's personal. Truth doesn't just inform you. It reshapes you. He didn't just gain a child. He learned he was erased. He didn't just gain a child. He learned he was missing from years that already happened. He learned that life moved forward without him, that he wasn't late. He was absent without knowing it. And that realization cuts deeper than anger. Because how do you grieve moments you never knew were happening? How do you hold loss without memories to point to? That's the weight of discovery. The crossroads. Most people break right here. This is the moment where everything splits. This is the moment where paths divide. not later, not after emotions settle. Right here, when pain is fresh and choices are raw. This is where reactions shape the future. There is no neutral ground here. Standing still is still a direction. And what happens next defines more than the moment. It defines who you become after it. One road feels powerful and destroys everything. One road feels strong, loud, fast. It promises release. It promises relief. But it burns everything it touches. Words spoken here can't be pulled back. Actions taken here echo for years. This road feels good for a moment and costs everything later. Many people choose it because it feels like control. But it isn't. It's loss dressed up as strength. The other road is quiet and demands discipline. The other road doesn't shout. It asks for control. It asks for restraint. It asks you to slow down when everything inside wants to rush. This road hurts in a different way. It doesn't offer quick relief. It offers long-term repair. Few people choose it because it doesn't feel powerful at first, but it builds something solid over time. Pain explains behavior. It does not excuse. Pain explains why people react. It does not excuse what they do next. Understanding pain does not mean handing it the steering wheel. Everyone feels hurt. Not everyone causes more harm. That line matters. Because once pain becomes an excuse, damage spreads. Growth begins when pain is faced without letting it lead. Trauma reveals character. It doesn't create it. Hard moments don't create who you are. They reveal it. When pressure hits, what's inside comes out. That's not punishment. That's exposure. The real test isn't what happened to you. It's what you do when it happens. That's where character shows itself clearly. You don't control what happens. You control what you become. You don't control what happens to you. You control what you become after it. Say it again. You don't control what happens. You control what you become. That choice is always yours. Not easy, not painless, but always yours. And that choice decides whether pain ends with you or passes through you to someone else. The decision that shocked everyone. He refused to become the villain. This is where everyone expected him to explode. This was the moment everyone leaned back and waited for the blow-up. The moment where anger would speak for him, where harsh words would fly, where damage would feel earned. Most people would have understood it. Many would have cheered it, because pain often looks for a loud exit. But instead of lighting the fuse, he paused. He stood still while everything inside him burned. That pause confused people. It disappointed some. It shocked most, because rage feels normal here. Control does not. And choosing control when anger feels earned is rare. Restraint is a power most people never learn. Restraint is not weakness. It's strength under pressure. It's the ability to feel everything and still choose carefully. Most people never learn it because it doesn't feel good at first. It feels like swallowing fire, but restraint is what keeps damage from spreading. It's what separates a bad moment from a ruined future. Anyone can react. Few can hold steady, and holding steady changes the outcome more than shouting ever could. Anger is gasoline. Discipline is the match you refuse to strike. Anger is gasoline. It's ready to burn. It's powerful. It's fast. But gasoline only destroys if you strike the match. Discipline is refusing to strike it. Discipline is knowing that once the fire starts, it doesn't ask who deserves it. It burns everything nearby, homes, bonds, trust. Refusing the match doesn't mean the gasoline isn't there. It means you choose not to turn pain into ashes. Responsibility will cost you more than revenge ever could. Revenge feels cheap at first. Responsibility is expensive. It costs pride. It costs comfort. It costs sleep. It asks you to carry weight instead of throwing it. But revenge only feels light because it hands the bill to the future. Responsibility pays up front and saves you later. It protects what still matters. It keeps doors open that anger slams shut. Maturity is choosing pain now so it doesn't multiply later. Maturity is not about age, it's about timing. It's choosing pain now so it doesn't spread later. It's taking the hit early so others don't have to take it forever. This choice hurts, it always does. But it ends the cycle instead of feeding it. That's what makes it powerful. Who would you be if you stopped proving you were hurt? Ask yourself this. Who would you be if you stopped proving you were hurt and started proving you were steady? Hurt wants to be seen. Strength wants to protect. One shouts. The other builds. And the world remembers the builder long after the noise fades. Outline 6. Fatherhood begins late, but love doesn't keep score. The clock didn't stop, but neither did responsibility. Time didn't pause. Years passed, but duty didn't disappear. Starting late doesn't remove the need to show up. It changes how you show up. Late beginnings carry weight, but they still matter. Showing up now is better than wishing for then. Life doesn't ask for perfect timing. It asks for presence. Presence matters more than a perfect timeline. Being there matters more than being early. Listening matters more than explaining. Small acts done daily build trust faster than big promises ever could. Presence is showing up when it's uncomfortable, when it's awkward, when you don't know all the answers. That's how bonds grow. Not through plans, through time spent together. You didn't miss the beginning. You arrived when you could. Guilt will tell you it's too late, that the first chapter defines the whole book. That's not true. You arrived when you could. And arriving now still counts. What matters is what you do with today. Regret looks backward. Care looks forward. Choose forward. Accountability should build you, not destroy you. Taking responsibility should shape you, not crush you. It should teach, not punish. Carrying blame forever doesn't help anyone. Learning from the past and acting better now does. Growth comes from honest effort, not self-attack. You don't fix absence by breaking yourself. You can't rewrite the first chapter, but you control the ending. You can't rewrite the first chapter. It's already printed, but you hold the pen now. Every page from here on is yours to fill. With time, with care, with steady effort. Endings are built slowly, and a strong ending can change how the whole story is remembered. The cost of silence. Secrets don't protect children. Silence has never been the same thing as safety. Silence is often mistaken for safety. It isn't. Silence is just quiet risk. It hides problems instead of fixing them. It delays harm instead of stopping it. Safety comes from truth spoken early, not secrets held too long. Secrets don't erase pain, they relocate it. Secrets don't remove pain, they move it from the moment to the future, from the adult to the child. Pain doesn't vanish because it's hidden, it waits. And when it surfaces, it's heavier. Children pay for what adults avoid. When adults avoid hard truths, children carry the cost in confusion, in broken trust, in questions that come too late. Avoidance may feel easier now, but it always sends the bill forward. If you're hiding the truth, you're only delaying the damage. Hiding truth doesn't soften the blow, it sharpens it. The longer the wait, the deeper the cut. Speaking now hurts. Speaking later hurts more. Delay doesn't protect. It multiplies harm. Every day of silence is a decision, not an accident. Silence is not passive, it's chosen. Every day truth is withheld. A decision is made again and again. Ending silence ends the damage. The moment truth is spoken, healing can begin. Accountability without hatred. Healing doesn't need a villain. Healing doesn't require someone to blame. Healing is often mistaken for revenge. People believe they must make someone else suffer to feel better. That's not healing. Healing happens inside you, not in the hands of others. You can feel wronged and still choose peace. You can acknowledge the hurt without letting it rule your life. Blame is optional. Healing is not. It's about taking that control over your emotions, your choices, and your future. You don't need someone to pay for what happened. You need yourself to stand up, feel the pain, and then step forward without letting anger dictate your path. Forgiveness is not denial. It's clarity. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean pretending the harm didn't happen. It's not denial. Forgiveness is clarity. It's seeing the situation for what it is without letting it weigh you down. It's understanding the truth and saying, I won't let this control me. Forgiveness separates the past from your present. It gives you room to think, to act, and to live without carrying the heavy burden of resentment. You can honor the reality of what happened while also refusing to let bitterness run your life. That's power. That's freedom. Boundaries aren't punishment. They're protection. Setting limits isn't cruelty. Saying no isn't revenge. Boundaries are protection. They protect your energy, your heart, and your mind. They keep you from being used, hurt, or drawn back into cycles that don't serve you. They're not walls to shut people out. They're walls to hold yourself together. Protecting yourself doesn't make you selfish. It makes you wise. Boundaries are the guardrails that let you walk safely down the road of healing without losing yourself in the process. You can name the harm without living in bitterness. You can acknowledge the hurt. You can speak the truth. You can recognize the wrongs done to you, and still, you don't have to live in bitterness. Bitterness is optional. It doesn't make the pain go away. It just makes it heavier. Naming harm clearly is a tool to understand, to process, and to release. It allows you to move forward with clarity without letting old wounds shape every choice. Peace and truth can coexist. You can hold one without letting go of the other. Hate is poison you drink hoping someone else suffers. Hate is heavy. It's a poison you drink while hoping someone else feels it. And the worst part, only you get sick. Carrying hate hurts you more than it hurts anyone else. Letting it go doesn't mean excusing what happened. It means refusing to let the poison control your body, your mind, and your decisions. Healing happens when you release that poison, not when you serve it back. That's where freedom starts. The audience mirror. This isn't just his story. This story isn't pointing at him. It's pointing at you. Look closely. This isn't just a story about him. It's a story about choices, about consequences, about moments where silence or action defines the rest of your life. It points at all of us, at decisions we delay, at truths we avoid. It asks, what would you do if you were in that place? Listening passively won't change a thing. This story mirrors the moments in your own life where you could act differently, where courage mattered and hesitation had a price. What truth are you still avoiding? Ask yourself honestly, what truth are you avoiding? What are you hiding from yourself or others because it's uncomfortable? That avoidance is not harmless. The longer you wait, the heavier the truth becomes. Avoiding it doesn't make it go away. It grows in silence. Facing truth is not easy. But every day you delay it, the consequences grow. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting despite it. The question is, how long will you wait before you step forward? Who pays the price for your silence? Silence has a cost. Often it's not you, it's someone else. Your delay can hurt people who depend on you, people who trust you, people who believe in your word. Every avoided conversation, every unspoken truth passes a burden forward. You may think hiding pain protects others, but in reality, it often makes it heavier. Someone always carries what you refuse to confront. Responsibility isn't optional, it's inevitable. Delayed responsibility is still a choice waiting to take. Responsibility doesn't erase it. Avoidance is still a choice. Silence is still action. Every day you decide not to act, you reinforce old patterns. Excuses don't remove accountability, they postpone it. Delaying doesn't protect anyone. It only stretches the consequences further. The moment to act is now, because every day spent waiting is another day of preventable harm. Time doesn't wait for courage, time doesn't stop for fear. It doesn't pause for hesitation. Every hour moves forward whether you face the truth or not. Courage delayed is opportunity lost. Waiting doesn't make the path safer, it only shrinks your chance to make a difference. If you want change, if you want to break cycles, if you want to protect what matters, you must act now. Time is moving. Are you moving with it? Redefining strength, real power is self-control. Everything you were taught about strength was incomplete. Strength has been taught as loudness, as force, as domination. That's incomplete. Real strength is quieter. It's steadiness when everyone else loses balance. It's calm when chaos surrounds you. Strength is choosing control over reaction. Strength is choosing patience over impulse. Everything else is noise. Real power doesn't announce itself. It shows in the way it holds, in the way it protects, in the way it endures. Strength is patience under pressure. True strength is patience. It's patience under heat, under pressure, under disappointment. When everything inside screams to act, to lash out, to quit, strength is holding steady. It's enduring without giving in. That's what sets apart the temporary from the lasting. Anyone can push once. Strength pushes calmly over time. Real power thinks long-term power is not in short bursts. Real power looks ahead. It calculates consequences. It sacrifices comfort now for stability later. Impulse can feel strong, but long-term impact is stronger. Patience, discipline, foresight, these are the marks of real power. They may feel invisible in the moment, but their results last far beyond. Strong men don't disappear. Strong men don't vanish when life gets hard. They stay. They face the moment. They don't retreat from responsibility. Presence is strength. Disappearance is weakness. If you want to measure strength, measure it in endurance, not in flash. Strong men show up, especially when it's hard. Real test of strength is showing up when no one would expect it, when it's uncomfortable, when fear or pain tempts you to leave. Showing up consistently when it's hardest proves power. Strong men are present, reliable, and steady, not loud. That's the kind of strength that changes lives. Closing call to action. Be the person the truth deserves. Truth is already here. What you do next is the question. Truth is not coming later. It's already in front of you. Waiting won't make it gentler. Avoiding it won't make it smaller. The question is, what will you do? Will you face it? Will you act? Truth doesn't change. Your choices do. And how you respond will define the next chapter of your life. The moment is now. Reflection without action is self-deception. Thinking about change isn't enough. Reflection without action is lying to yourself. You can feel inspired, sad, or angry, but if you don't act, it accomplishes nothing. Action transforms thought into reality. It transforms insight into life. Courage without movement is only a wish. Truth is a weight. It will either build you or break you. Truth carries weight. It is heavy. You can let it crush you, or you can use it to strengthen yourself. Ignoring it doesn't remove the weight. It only makes it harder to bear later. Facing it, learning from it, acting on it, that builds endurance, clarity, and strength. The choice is yours. Don't wait until life exposes you. Waiting for life to force honesty is dangerous. Life doesn't ask for your permission. It doesn't pause. Exposure comes whether you're ready or not. Be proactive. Face the reality now. Taking control before life forces and ensures you lead, not follow. Expose yourself to honesty. First step. Into the light of truth willingly. Accept responsibility willingly. Don't let circumstance or pressure dictate your awakening. Facing honesty first gives you the choice of how to respond. It gives you power over the story instead of letting the story control you. Be remembered as the one who stood up in the end. What matters is how you stand. Will you be the one who remained silent, or the one who stood up? The one who faced truth, acted wisely, and carried themselves with strength. Legacy isn't about fame, it's about integrity. Be remembered as the one who stood up, not the one who waited for someone else to do it for you. Asterisk.